If you want to build an audience or a community or a following, you have to deal with hate comments. And with where the internet is today, you can't avoid them. In fact, the majority of, especially the early comments, are going to be hate comments. And today, I'm kind of inspired from some negative comments I've received on this very channel. And I wanted to break through for the people how you can disassociate from these hate comments, where they're even coming from in the first place, and how it's not even really a bad thing, especially if you have a strong purpose behind what you're trying to achieve. I want to totally change your perspective on what they mean. So first of all, what's going on? My name is Ben. I've been working in the social media space for 6 years at this point. Been on every side of the equation. I've been the creator. I've helped brands grow. I've worked with affiliates. So content is everything that I do. And so with that, you get exposed to the masses. You get exposed to people, and you get exposed to their anger. That's the first point that I wanted to make. Why you shouldn't care about what people are commenting on your thing is because think about you. If you consider yourself a relatively happy person, have you ever taken the time to leave a hate comment on someone's post? I can say, truthfully, I've never done that. I've shared opinions or been parts of debate, but I've never gone out and attacked someone, because the only people that would do that would be feeling a need to try to pull whoever this is on the screen down to their level. Secondly, 9 times out of 10, even more, let's say 99 out of 100 times, it's from someone who's never posted a piece of content in their life, but they're claiming they're an expert in said field when they truly know nothing, right? And yet they feel entitled to share their opinion. That's another thing that you have to understand, is that with social media, everyone now has an opinion, and it's a constant reminder of how smart everyone thinks they are and how little we all actually know. The more that I learn, the more I'm reminded of how little I know. And the only space that I even understand, period, is social media, but everyone else just assumes they know social media because they have access to it. But they don't spend the time, they haven't learned, they're not in the back end, like they don't understand what they're saying, but they feel compelled to share their opinion because they want to feel smart. So that's another thing too. You have to understand the origin of where they're coming from. Now let's move on to the thought process of a hate comment, right? So, for example, a lot of times they don't even watch the video, because I can't tell you how many times I've received hate comments on my own assets, clients' assets, whatever, where if they actually watch the video, what they're saying is factually incorrect. For example, this one guy was hating on me right here, okay? Hopefully they show all the replies. I said, what did I say that was incorrect? I don't know why I can't see the full reply. I'll go into the back end here. Probably because he was hating so much. It's probably blocked from YouTube, but let me check in the back end here. Comments. Held for review. No? Then where is he? Right here. Okay. So this guy who's never posted a video in his life, but he's an expert. He said, and so for context, my previous video was about the founder of Barstool, Dave Portnoy, buying back his company, Barstool, from Penn, the company that he had sold it to previously for about $500 million. And I literally opened the video by saying that the headline, that he bought it back for $0. I said, and then I said right after that, at least that's how the headline reads, but there's so much more to it. So this guy who's angry, who's saying I'm an idiot, he literally contradicted himself in his very fucking text, his message. So let me show you. So he paid what it's worth. Dave, and you're so funny, is no longer a huge name. Well, that's just incorrect. If it were, Penn wouldn't have literally thrown it away. If there's a conflict of interest and you can only have one thing, you take what's bigger. That doesn't mean Barstool's bad. So very shallow thinking there. Clearly, only to jump on Pat Mack. I mean, ESPN rocket ship, the real rocket ship. The pirate ship is heading to the bottom of the ocean like all the pirate ships. The narrator has no clue, referring to me, what he is talking about. So then I said, what did I say that was incorrect? Because honestly, sometimes I will entertain it just to see where they're coming from because of things like this. I want to be able to speak to clients or to understand myself better how these people operate and why they don't matter for what you're trying to achieve, okay? So you want an itemized list? This is what I'm referring to. You said Dave bought it back for $0. Please, if anyone's curious and you want to escape from this, from caring about what people like this think, I literally say in the first sentence of that video, at least that's how the title reads. But there's a lot more to it than that. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing now, but that's the sentiment right there. And so then I said back to him, it's almost like you didn't watch the video. That's the point right there. People who are angry will seek out whatever it is that they're looking to soothe themselves with and come up with it even if it's not there. And this is proof in the pudding, because if you watch that video, what he's saying here is not something that I even said. So he's wrong right here. And then secondly, technically it's impossible to buy something for $0. So this guy's now mad in his fake world over 100 cents, $1. He's mad. If someone has the time to be mad over 100 cents in a fake story that's not even real because he's making it himself, you should not be giving anything to his opinion, right? And I guess that's kind of ironic because I'm giving stuff to his opinion right now, but it's for the better purpose for the people who'd be watching this video, because I highly doubt, unless he's coming to troll, that he's going to come back to this video. But for those that want to create stuff like this, and people like him or her or she or they, them, whatever, they stop people that could be doing very positive things from doing them, which leads me to my next point. People like this, they're more likely to comment. Unless someone has changed in a very big way positively, they're not likely to comment. And even if that happens, a lot of those people are far less likely to comment. Whereas if someone is in a negative situation, they're far more likely to comment. So you have to understand that simply by psychology, they're far more likely to take action because they feel bad about where they currently are. If you're in a good state, you don't feel a need to move. Whereas if you're in a fire, you feel a need to do something, right? And so that's what these guys are doing, or girls, people, aliens, whatever, all of the time. And so they now have an outlet and a forum to do this, which is going to be on your content eventually. So this is the whole thing. I want you to disconnect from any of this mattering to you so you can focus on your vision and mission, because this happens all the time. And these people could be your neighbors. These people could be your best friends. This person could be your dad. And it doesn't matter. You need to be able to separate from them just the same. Okay, now moving on to what was my next point. These are positive comments, so we're going into those. Okay, yeah, and let's break down why it's actually a good thing, okay? So because these people are way more likely to comment on your stuff, that's gonna bring engagement. And so if you have a bigger vision for what you're trying to achieve and that's all you're focusing on, you understand that these people aren't a bad thing, they're a good thing. Why, Ben? Well, let me answer, Ben. Because if they're gonna leave engagement, these are positive indicators on the social media algorithms. And it's so funny because all these people who think that they're so strong-willed and they're fighting the good fight with all their hate, they don't understand that they're pushing the people that they're hating on, they're pushing their content through this engagement. And if you truly hated someone so much, why are you so invested in the things that they're doing, right? The opposite of love is indifference, not hate, right? So that's the whole thing right there. If you go see and look at someone controversial, like look at any video about Andrew Tate or the guys like that, a good chunk of the comments are people hating on them, and oftentimes it's referencing like 3 or 4 other pieces from their life or pieces of content. So it's like, why are you giving so much time and attention to someone that you hate, right? So even deeper reason not to care. It's because this is clearly something that's about them. It's not about you. But for you, when it comes back to you, why it's a good thing is because all it's going to do is push your audience out further, which will attract everyone, right? So within that group of people, there's going to be people that are the right people for you, that are going to stick around and support you, whether it's vocal or not. And then it's also going to bring more people like that. But it gets pushed farther and farther. So when you view it like that, you don't think it's a bad thing, because your content is going to be a magnet for people, right? And depending on the topics that you cover, it may be more magnetized, it may be stronger and pull in more people. You're just looking for the people that are the right people to actually stay. And that's the problem, whereas a lot of people, because they're afraid of this stuff, they won't take a stand on anything. They're wishy-washy as all hell. Whatever you do, you're going to piss someone off, but there is no guarantee that you attract anyone through content, right? There's no guarantee if you post stuff and you're trying to be wishy-washy that you do get a fan base. That's not guaranteed, but it's guaranteed you're going to piss someone off. So wouldn't you rather take a stand for something, make your content and you a magnet for the right people, so when they find it, they stick, rather than doing nothing and attracting no one? That's the choice that you have. And so unfortunately, I guess it's just the way it is. This happens regardless. There'll be more the more convicted you are, but there's also so many good things that will come from that you may not even see. It will come with time. You do get more and more positive things the longer that you stick with it, because eventually your audience drowns out that crap. But you only can do that if you are persistent and have the conviction to actually stick to what your purpose is for being here, your purpose is for creating, your purpose for running your brand, whatever it is. When that is clearly outlined in your brain, that's all that matters. And you start to attract those people through your content. You can build the community, and that typically can drown out the noise to a point where you don't care. But it does take a lot to get there. You're fighting a lot of human urges here. This stuff's very anti-human, because none of these people would say this to your face. That's another massive thing, is that you can't view it. And then this is one of the many things that's wrong with social media, is that when we view that, we view it as if they are saying it to our face, but they never would say it to our face. We can't psychologically separate the two. And so we give that the same level of pain and impact on us that we would if someone were to say it to my face, but that would never actually happen. So we're getting the negative thing of something that would be so rare to actually happen in real life all the time through this. And until you actually realize that, become aware of it, and consciously work to counteract that natural human thing, it becomes a little easier. And so I know I'm talking about very broad surface level stuff, but I was just hit with a stroke of inspiration today. So I figured I'd come out. I figured I'd come out with this. So if you want to create, you have to do it, and you have to understand conviction is necessary, persistence is necessary, and hate or negativity is inevitable. But it doesn't need to be a bad thing. It's all about how you look at it. So since you are looking to create, this podcast is designed to help people like you. I talk about what's going on in the world of content and in the creator economy, whatever word you want to attach to it. I share my experience and also give my takes on what's going on within the industry, just like I did with the whole Dave Portnoy story. And so I'm likely going to say something that'll piss you off. I might be wrong at times. That's part of the experience. That's part of why I'm here. But the right people will hear the things I'm saying. They'll resonate with it and they'll stick around. And if that's you, it's obviously you because you're still here. What's up? I appreciate you. Make sure to click that subscribe button. And if you want to see a previous episode, YouTube thinks you'll like this one. Let me know if they actually did make a good recommendation. And I will see you in the next one. I'm Ben Levitt. This is Creators Tea. Keep creating. Peace.